Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we would learn to execute compliance scan on a web server. We can use already available benchmark profiles from GitHub to scan our web server, or Chef Market was the place we got the community chef cookbooks from. So we can use and contribute InSpec profiles through Chef Supermarket as well. We can browse InSpec profiles on Chef Supermarket and we can see which available profile would be suitable for us. We can even scan it from InSpec client interface. Let's say our company needs a whole new profile of controls that are not offered by Chef Compliance, and we need to run them on various machines. So we will have to create all these controls from scratch. So let's see how do we do this. So I am on the Chef Workstation. InSpec init is the command to create a profile from scratch. So I'll type in InSpec init profile and give the name of the profile. The name of the profile I've chosen is Apache_profile. On executing this command, it creates inspec.yaml, the library folders, the control folders, and example.rb file as well inside the control folder. Now let's head over to our newly created inspec.yaml file and add all our information to it. We would specify the name and the title of the profile. We would also update the maintainer details and the copyright details. So I'll mention it as DevOps Teams and a dummy email ID. I will also update the OS type supported. And let me save this. So our inspec.yaml file is ready. Let's update the control. So I've already created a file. I'll copy that file to this directory and show you the details. So in this particular test file, I've written a control. It does a Nginx service check. I have updated a title and a description. And in the code block, I have mentioned that it should be enabled, running, and installed. So I'm checking the status of the Nginx service and I end the control. I have also created one more test file to check the status of port 80. As this is a web server, we expect port 80 to be listening. So in this file, I have mentioned that the port 80 should be in listening state. So great, controls are all up to date now. We have a control for service check status and for checking the status of port 80. So let's go ahead and run a check to see if this is a valid profile or it has any errors or warning. InSpec check with the profile name would do a check on that profile. Great, all looks good. We can now execute this profile on our remote server. Our Web01 was the server which was running as an Apache server. So I'll execute this profile on Web01 server. InSpec exec with the profile name. -t is the target. I would connect via SSH. I would provide the username @ the node name, which is Web01. And I would provide password as --password. To log in via SSH to Web01, in case you're using non-root user, you can provide password and then you can also provide the --sudo password and at the end --sudo so that you can log in via SSH as non-root user. So the compliance scan on the remote user has executed. So with this, we have learned to create a basic profile and scan it against a remote server. We can also expand a profile to inherit from the DevSec Apache baseline profile. So we can think of the requirements, what we have, what we really like to test. Like for example, only root should have a read, write, and execute permission to the Apache configuration directory, or Apache should run in its own non-privileged account, or Apache login should be enabled. So according to this, we can select the DevSec Apache baseline profile. To include these controls, we can modify our Apache profile. So we will start by modifying our inspec.yaml file. And at the end, I can mention that this particular profile depends on and give the name of the profile and the link from where it can download the Apache baseline controls. So our inspec.yaml file is updated. Next, we would create a file named control.apache.rb and add the controls we wish to include in our profile. So I've already created a file. Let me copy that and show you the content. I wish to include Apache 01, 04, 05, 06 control. So I have mentioned that, and I've also mentioned Apache 14 control. So here we are specifying that I want to include this profile, but I don't want to execute all the controls. Rather, I would require only specific control to be executed. So I'll save this file and we can run the inspect check again on our profile. All looks good. We would do inspect exec to scan our web server now. The compliance scan has executed on Web01 server, and we see how many controls have passed and failed, and according to that we can make changes to our server to adhere to the compliance. So in this video, we learned to run compliance scan on Apache web server. In the next video, we would learn to scan Docker host and containers with InSpec. So see you then.